Welcome to English Mirror's question answer session. Here is the next bunch of questions. Let's have a look. McFluckno is an attack on Dryden's literary rival. Answer is option B, Thomas Shadwell. McFluckno is a verse mock heroic satire written by John Dryden. It is a direct attack on Thomas Shadwell, another prominent poet of the time. Remember, it was written about 1678 but not published until 1682. McFluckno is the outcome of a series of disagreements between Thomas Shadwell and Dryden. 18th century writers used satire frequently for. Answer is option A, attacking human vices and follies. Satire is a genre of literature and performing arts, usually fiction and less frequently in non-fiction, in which vices, follies, abuses, and shortcomings are held up to ridicule, ideally with the intent of shaming individuals, corporations, government, or society itself into improvement. Although satire is usually meant to be humorous, its greater purpose is often constructive social criticism, using wit to draw attention to both particular and wider issues in society. Byron's The Vision of Judgment is a satire directed against. Answer is option D, Robert Southey. The Vision of Judgment, published in 1822, is a satirical poem in Ottava Rima by Lord Byron, which depicts a dispute in heaven over the fate of George III's soul. It was written in response to the poet laureate Robert Southey's A Vision of Judgment, published in 1821, which had imagined the soul of King George triumphantly entering heaven to receive his due. Thomas Paine's The Rights of Man was published in. Answer is option B, 1791. Rights of Man, a book by Thomas Paine including 31 articles, posits that popular political revolution is permissible when a government does not safeguard the natural rights of its people. Using these points as a base, it defends the French Revolution against Edmund Burke's attack in Reflections on the Revolution in France, which was published in 1790. Andrew Marvell's An Oration Note upon Cromwell's Return from Ireland was written in. Answer is option C, 1650. Andrew Marvell's Oration Note is a political poem dated to early 1650, responds with lament to the regicide even as it is praises Cromwell's return from Ireland. The Rime of Ancient Mariner is about. Answer is option D, The Guilt and Expiation of the Ancient Mariner. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner is the longest major poem by the English poet Samuel Taylor Coleridge, written in 1797 to 98 and published in 1798 in the first edition of Lyrical Ballads. Some modern editions use a revised version printed in 1817 that featured a gloss. Along with other poems in lyrical ballads, it is often considered a signal shift to modern poetry and the beginning of British Romantic literature. Two Daffodils is a poem written by. Answer is option A, Robert Herrick. Robert Herrick was a 17th century English lyric poet and cleric. He is best known for Hesperides, a book of poems. Which of the following novels reconstructs the historical events of the Indian Mutiny? Answer is option B, The Siege of Krishnapur. The book details the siege of a fictional Indian town, Krishnapur, during the Indian Rebellion of 1857 from the perspective of the British residents. The main characters find themselves subject to the increasing strictures and deprivation of the siege, which reserves the normal structure of life where European govern Asian subjects. England, My England is a poem by, answer is option A, W. E. Henley. W. E. Henley was an English poet, critic, and editor in late Victorian England. Though he wrote several books of poetry, Henley is remembered most often for his 1875 poem Invictus. Shelley was expelled from the Oxford University due to the publication of, answer is option B, The Necessity of Atheism. The Necessity of Atheism is an essay on atheism by the English poet P. B. Shelley, printed in 1811 by Charles and William Phillips in Worthing, while Shelley was a student at University College, Oxford. Thank you for watching this video. If you like the video, please share and subscribe.